Sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
You know the song Reunited and It Feels So Good? That's what I feel like today, guys.
Aw,
yeah,
we missed you.
I feel like it's been a million years.
It's really only been like 5 days.
I think we're all collectively rejuvenated. Me and Matty T got some couple days off. We're rested.
A couple of days times two.
Couple days times two.
Rejuvenated? Speak for yourself, my guys.
I'm tired and I need a day off.
I don't know why you're grumpy. You got to finally start calling basketball games.
No, I'm not grumpy. I mean, I think I'm pretty happy, but I wouldn't say I'm rejuvenated after landing last night at like midnight with the women's basketball team. And I cannot stay awake on a flight no matter how long it is. It's like a bus trip. I just can never stay awake, especially after a game that featured almost like 200 points, for crying out loud, between Arkansas and Maryland. I was pretty much out of breath. So I slept for like 45 minutes on the flight, and that pretty much ruined the rest of the night for me. So I don't think I got to sleep until 2. Here we are with an 11 o'clock morning show. Of course, you were up at you were probably awake by the time I went to sleep. SmackDown, producing the morning show.
My internal body woke up at about 3 o'clock this morning and couldn't go back to sleep.
I did actually wake up at 2:30 and stayed up. I think it was just the excitement and the anticipation of seeing you guys again.
It really was. Like, I genuinely miss you guys for over Thursday and Friday.
You mean that's not every day, Maddie? That's just the one day that we missed each other for 5 days?
Yeah. Did you get to go on any boat excursions or anything? I saw on a couple of Razorback women's basketball player Twitters and Instagrams that they were out there on boats and stuff.
Maddie, I didn't do a damn thing in Florida except hang out in the room and call 3 basketball games, eat a lot of bacon, because I know I'm not traveling with the women's basketball team again this year. I'm driving myself, I think, to Dallas and Little Rock for the upcoming non-conference road games, and the SEC road games will be in Fayetteville, doing the game off a monitor. So that means a lot less bacon than I'm used to. So I basically jammed like 4 months worth of bacon into 3-4 days.
And did they still have the buffet, or was this room service?
No, this was cafeteria style. It was cafeteria style.
Yes, this is Phil Elson. I need 4 plats of bacon for me, please.
Yes, I need 4 pigs worth of bacon.
I'm
please.
celebrating.
Delivered to room 1702.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a great trip, though. I know we had a lot of fun.
You sent me a picture of your hotel room, and I know we'll talk about this later, but your hotel arrangement was beautiful, my man.
Dude, I mean, you want to talk about being spoiled. And that, we have 3 up, 3 down later on. This will be one of my ups, but I might as well get into it here.
I would have used so many towels.
I
love using up towels.
All the free soaps and shampoos and everything.
What exactly are you using the towels for, Maddie?
Let's just put it this way. You wouldn't want to use a towel after me.
Okay.
Wow. Whoa.
I would say the same thing about me.
Yeah, baby.
I had a 17th floor hotel suite with not 1, not 2, but 3 balconies.
No.
My goodness.
3 balconies?
Even the bathroom had a balcony.
A triple balcony.
I've never seen this before.
I've never went to the restroom on a balcony. That would be a nice experience.
Have you ever gone to the restroom off a balcony?
Yes, I have. There's been things involved too.
Well, I tell you what, you haven't lived until you've used the restroom with the balcony door open from 17 stories above the ocean. So
they say don't pee in the pool, but what if you do it from your balcony?
We had a great trip, really. The women's team had a successful trip, even with the loss to number 12 Maryland yesterday. Go 2-1. I'd say Arkansas women's basketball is successful just because they're one of only 2 of the 241 teams that have played 1 game this year that have played 4. There's only 2 teams in the country for women's basketball that have played 4 games, Arkansas and Florida Gulf Coast. That's the team that hosted the tournament in Fort Myers that we were at. So, I mean, that in and of itself during this pandemic in which we are seeing so many programs, basketball, football, professional teams now, shut things down. I mean, even this morning, the NFL has told the Baltimore Ravens, no practice today. This is going to be Baltimore's 6th consecutive day without a practice, and they're supposed to go to Pittsburgh tomorrow for a football game that's been postponed twice. I don't see it. But so in that idea, just the fact that Arkansas women's hoops has played 4 games, I think even if they went like 2-2 or 1-3, you'd feel good that they at least got able to play all the games. Nobody tested positive. We did get tested every single day in Fort Myers. And they were a little bit more invasive than the ones that tickle me on campus. Yeah. I felt like I was turning into a unicorn.
So how did these feel?
These felt like your brain got stabbed briefly. Just a little bit of a poke to the base of the brain, and then it went away. So I not as much of a tickle as it was before.
Well, we tried that. Me and Maddie T held ship this past week, or we did on Wednesday. We had Clay Henry, we had Bill King, we had Nate Olson. We had a loaded show up on Wednesday,
fun.
But we missed you. And we actually, Maddie T.
It was fun, but something wasn't right.
If something wasn't right, but we actually did get a compliment. We were like, we know we missed Phil, but we got a lot of compliments saying like, you guys held up your end of the bargain without Phil.
You guys don't need me, and really, you are competing against me.
That's right. We mentioned
because
that, yeah.
the women's basketball game airs on the other sports station in Fayetteville. So I was competing against my very own show, against my 2 guys.
But
that felt weird.
How many times though did we say, "Hey, listen to our show," but also go listen to Phil's broadcast?
We were hoping that you were trying to get in like Thanksgiving references, like, man, they're really creaming their corn, or stuff like that, or man, they're really putting the green bean in the casseroles today.
You just introduced a brand new idea for me here, Maddie. I think
that needs to be our new segment for a week. So what phrase does Phil have to fit in on a Razorback women's broadcast?
Well, as long as they liken to side dishes at a Thanksgiving meal, I think we'll be fine. Boy, that shot was hotter than a green bean casserole, huh? I don't know if that works. We got a big week coming up here. Last week was a big week just because, Thanksgiving and ideas of if you're traveling, be a little safer than you have been. The virus is really surging. And I have to say, I was really nervous being in a hotel resort and it wasn't the other basketball teams that were with us because, you had 5 teams staying in the same hotel resort that were part of the women's tournament, and then there were 4 or 5 men's basketball teams that were also in Fort Myers staying in the very same hotel. But you had a whole bunch of random other people, normal Joes and average Janes that were around, and some not wearing masks properly. You get on elevators with these people, and so I was a little bit nervous about it. But hey, don't have to travel again, so good.
So why did they let you travel to this, but they won't let you do SEC games? Is that just hey, you're not going to be able to travel, but here we'll take you to the beach?
SEC games will provide enough camera angles because of the way the SEC network and ESPN have wired all of the buildings in the SEC that we'll be able to put together a solid radio broadcast just off the the television monitors. And I think it's also out of an abundance of caution by the SEC and the athletic director specifically. I don't think they wanted to have 2 sets of radio teams in the building for any of the basketball games being indoors.
Gotcha.
And I think the ESPN broadcasters also are not going to be on the floor, not at Bud Walton Arena. As I understand, they're going to be back in the RSN studios or just doing a game remotely. So, I mean, this is because it's an indoor sport.
Right.
And it's not just, SEC road broadcasts. Like Arkansas is not letting any visiting teams for the non-conference schedule bring their radio broadcast in either, because they can make it available on the SEC network plus for those guys to do games off of a monitor. So that's what they're going to do. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. My cholesterol will be very happy with that because I will be eating much less bacon. It's funny how I eat a lot fewer bacon when I have to pay for my own bacon. It's not brought to you at a hotel restaurant.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm fine with it. I love travel. I love hotels. I love flights and going and visiting all these other cities and campuses. But with everything happening right now, I'm fine with just staying here in Fayetteville and beating the virus and learning how to call a game off a monitor. So that's not what I'm doing this week.
No.
I got a bunch of basketball games this week. So let's see what you got the week ahead. You got men's. First of all, Eric Musselman Live is tonight on this very radio station, 7 o'clock at Sassy's on Weddington. So that's tonight. You should have the Sam Pittman radio show Tuesday night because Wednesday night, men's basketball plays UT Arlington. That'll be televised live on the SEC network at 8 o'clock. Women's basketball hosts Ulm Louisiana Monroe will be the Warhawks' first game of the year. Thursday night, of course, Arkansas has played 4. Football plays Missouri Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning. Chuck will be on that call. I've got the men's game against Lipscomb Saturday afternoon at 5. And then women's basketball hosts fourth-ranked Baylor Sunday at 5 o'clock in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. So,
it's going to be fun.
This is going to be a great week of basketball, and I think you'll have a pretty entertaining football game. I wouldn't call it a must-win for Arkansas, but hey, after 2 weeks without a game, and Missouri coming off essentially a bye week against Vanderbilt, go out and get a win. Let's turn this thing into a rivalry, pretty please. And when we come back after this, we'll continue on halftime. Good to be back with you guys on this Monday. Stay tuned.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
Your home for every Razorback football game.
College to midfield, the 40, the 30, College at the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the pylon. Touchdown, Arkansas!
As you can tell, this means a lot, you know.
Only on ESPN 95.3.
Over $12,000 off on 2020 Ford Expeditions at Harry Robinson's Salisol Ford. Get the room, comfort, and features you demand with the Ford Expedition and save $12,645 off MSRP at Harry Robinson's Salisol Ford. The 2020 Ford Fusion, where style and great pricing meet, as low as $19,006. That's up to $6,500 off MSRP. The lowest prices, the best selection. Harry Robinson's Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Whether you're buying your first home, building your dream home, or simply refinancing to access your home's equity, navigating the mortgage process can be intimidating. Chambers Bank is here to help you every step of the way. Family owned in Arkansas since 1930, Chambers Bank provides you with the convenience of an online mortgage application process and the confidence of knowing you'll be working with experienced local bankers. We understand the value of home ownership in the natural state because we live here too. Contact us today and let us help you with your mortgage. Chambers Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 631520.
Tommy Craft for the Fence Man. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fence Man. 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, this is David Owen with Washita Farms. We grow hemp in Central Arkansas and process it into full-spectrum CBD products. Washita Farms products are affordably priced and available online or conveniently located at nearly 200 stores across the state. All Washita Farms CBD products are tested at C-Pill Labs in Little Rock to ensure that you will always get what you expect. Find us online today and use this code at checkout.
Washita Farms! Go to WashitaFarms.com and use code WPS15 at checkout of your purchase.
The River Valley's newest pizza parlor is now open at Heritage Village on Chad Colley Boulevard in Chaffee Crossing. Featuring a 22 pizza buffet and their legendary salad bar, which is available 7 days a week. Pizza Parlor has a spacious dining room with 8 big screen TVs and outdoor dining with 2 more big screen TVs, so you won't miss any of the big game. Pizza Parlor at Heritage Village in Chaffee Crossing is open now 11 to 11 Sunday through Thursday until midnight on Friday and Saturday.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Looking to upgrade your fleet or needing professional service to your existing fleet? Carco International of Fort Smith offers the latest trucks and equipment in the industry. With over 70 years in the trucking and equipment business, they have the experience to keep you on the road. Carco International offers professional service after the sale. Carco International Parts Department supplies all makes, parts, and gives expert service. Carco International is the answer. Leave it to the pros to keep you on the road. Carco International, located at 2721 Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're
listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Burks comes in motion out of the pistol formation. Franks eludes the pressure, rolling left, got a man. Burks at the 20, trailing to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Traylon Burks, 49 yards, his first touchdown as a Razorback.
Want more Halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
877-377-6963. Get with us today on a Monday edition of Halftime. It's going to feel a little bit weird trying to get back into the rhythm of things. But then again, that's what this time of the year is about, right, guys? I mean, you know, you have your regular 5-day work week and, you know, everything that goes into that for like 7 or 8 months straight. Maybe a couple of vacations in the summer. I know there's July 4th, there's Labor Day and all of that, but it's one holiday, one day for the week. And then you get into this time of the year where it's like everything is thrown off. You have the week of Thanksgiving, which never is a regular week. I mean, you've got a couple of days of work and then 3 days of cooking and food and football and feeling sleepy. And then back to whatever normalcy is for 2 or 3 weeks. And then you get the 2-week layoff of Christmas time. And, of course, nothing feels normal now anyway with the pandemic surging. So I guess maybe a little bit more of the same. Worth saying, I was incorrect about the Sam Pittman Live radio show Tuesday. There is no Sam Pittman Live this week. I assume that is because they did one last week when there was an unscheduled bye, and so just taking a week off. But you do have Eric Musselman live tonight, and Coach Pittman doesn't have to worry about a radio show for the rest of the week. So good. All right, men's basketball 2-0, women's basketball 3-1. Would certainly say that the women's team has had tougher opponents than the men over the first 2 games. Though North Texas looks like they could be a pretty decent team. I didn't get a chance to have my eyes on the North Texas game, SmackDown. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Got a chance to watch it on YouTube out where we live in El Paso, Arkansas. There is no such thing as high-speed internet out there, so I couldn't pull up the stream and watch it. But shout out to War Machine for the YouTube highlights and got to watch those a little bit. And I think the biggest thing you can take away from both of these matchups when you look back at Mississippi Valley State, which was the Wednesday of we didn't have a show on the next day to talk about it. So from an 80-point victory to about a 15-point victory, 69-54 victory over North Texas, it's contrasting styles that Eric Musselman really wanted in this game. I mean, you look at Mississippi Valley State, much more up and down, quick shooting team as Mississippi Valley State versus North Texas. It's a little bit more of a slow down, grinded out sort of a performance, and I think that'll bode well to really see, A, where this team is, and B, really get them geared up towards the future. When you look at this the North Texas game, Connor Vanover, again, really showed out for the Razorbacks. He was 3 or 4 from the field. He had 16 total rebounds. See, total points, he had 6 points total. Justin Smith led all scorers with 18 points for the Razorbacks. Desi Sills added 14. Moses Moody added 11. And where the Razorbacks played nearly 13 or 14 guys against Mississippi Valley State, this game here, they only played 8. Which is a little bit more of the Eric Musselman style that we saw last season. So I think that's the biggest thing to take away, just mainly the contrasting styles. Obviously, you're 2-0. The opponents are much different than what the women's team is facing and what they'll continue to face moving forward. Like you just mentioned, Baylor's coming to town this Sunday. That's going to be a heck of a matchup inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks' non-conference slate isn't necessarily that strong, but for a young team, for a team that we don't really know quite a bit about. We know what we think, but just seeing it is something that I think these games will really start to matter for these teams. But playing only 8 guys really surprised me after that North Texas game, and it may just been the circumstances. He wanted to see kind of like maybe what this group of 8 could do, and I don't think it's necessarily puts like a spell of fate on like KK Robinson getting only 5 minutes of play, Kalen Robinson only getting 5 minutes. You saw no Jalen Williams. You saw no Devontae Davis in this ballgame. You saw no Ethan Henderson. I don't think it necessarily spells fate for those guys not getting in during the North Texas game.
Well, I guess maybe a surprise that you still had 3 players get over 34 minutes in the North Texas game. And, I mean, I wouldn't take a single thing away from the Mississippi Valley State, except that that's not a real Division I basketball team. The Mississippi Valley State has.
The only thing
North Texas is most definitely. So I would take more from that game. And I mean, I guess I expect more than an 8-man rotation from this team, especially considering that you have so much talent, or what appears to be so much talent. But is it a surprise that Vance Jackson only plays 8 minutes in the second game of the year? I know what you're expecting from Vance is more of a guy that's got the ability to hit from the outside, some size as well. But that seems like a bit of a surprise. But again, it's like I don't know what to expect from whatever rotations Muss is planning on sending out there. This is such a new team that you look at these minutes. I mean, Smith plays almost 36 minutes. Connor Vanover, that's a career-high 34 minutes with 16 rebounds to go along with his 6 points. Desi Sills, 36.5 minutes. Maybe a bit of a surprise to see 3 players get that many minutes that early in the season.
Well, how many times last season did we see Musselman kind of adjust the lineup and play more guys more and some guys less? I mean, that's why I think I'm not buying into this at all, that there's a quote-unquote death sentence on some of these younger guys, the freshmen that we thought that played quite a bit of minutes last game versus you see, just looking here, I think you had 10 or 11 guys, we'll just say 10 guys that played over 10 minutes against Mississippi Valley State. And then this week, and then against North Texas, you only had 6. So I'm not necessarily spelling fate, because he might just be trying different things with this lineup. It's like who can do what and this and that and the other. The biggest takeaway, though, I'm seeing, Connor Vanover is going to be a force. Regardless of what you think about him, he's not necessarily a Shaquille O'Neal going to back it down and be a post-up kind of a guy, but having a 7'3" dude that can shoot, that can spread the floor and pass and go in there and get rebounds and alter shots. I mean, heck, 16 rebounds. I believe he had 6 blocks in this game 6 blocks in this game as well. And then against Mississippi Valley State, he registered 3 blocks. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, just based off the fact that how many guys in college basketball that are 7'3"?
That's true. Well, I don't think you've had anybody that tall at Arkansas before.
Yeah.
How about J.D. Notae? First guy off the bench, playing with a lot of energy. I mean, he comes off the bench and he leads the team in assists in the first couple of games. He's averaging 24 minutes, 14.5 points, 5.5 rebounds in those 24 minutes per game. So it certainly appears you've got your 6th guy off the bench here in Notae. Jackson did start against Mississippi Valley State, so I guess in that idea, how do you go from starting one game to barely playing in the next game, which does seem like a bit of a surprise. But, again, it's a very short sample. I don't think you can take anything away from the first game. Mississippi Valley State is that bad, and I guess the best thing to take away from it is that Arkansas did exactly what they should do to a team like that, which is run them off the court.
Regardless of how we view Mississippi Valley State, it still is incredible to know that the Razorbacks were 20 of 40 shooting the 3 ball. Regardless, It doesn't matter who you're playing. If you're playing the starting 5 of ESPN Arkansas, radio personalities, or anybody, it still takes a great player to put the ball in 20, or put a great group of players to put the ball in 20 times from beyond the 3-point line. I don't care how you spin it. It still is impressive to look at it when you look 20 of 40 from the 3-point line, almost 50 shots made, just period. And then in that whole entire ball game, the Razorbacks shot 33% beyond the 3-point line. So, I mean, regardless, still impressive.
Yeah, well, then 6 for 22 in the second game behind the arc. So, I mean, you have one game where you're red hot against a bad team, and then another game where you were, kind of cold against a better team.
50%, excuse me. Sorry, they shot 50%.
Couple of games this week. Again, it's Wednesday night, UT Arlington. You can get your eyes on Arkansas basketball for the first time if you're not in person, just on linear television, because it's 8 o'clock on the SEC Network with the late tip. 5 o'clock against Lipscomb. So 2 home games this week. And then I know Arkansas's got – I know they'll have their first road game next week, Tuesday at Tulsa, and then host UCA. So now football, I guess – when do we find out about what's going to happen next Saturday? I know you get the Missouri game this Saturday, 11 o'clock against the Tigers. Of course, this was supposed to be the Alabama game. I guess there's no surprise, really, that the SEC is doing what they can for Alabama to play against LSU. But is Arkansas going to play against Alabama now? You know,
I
if
would
they've
feel
already
like-
clinched the division, if they already have a seed, spot in the SEC championship game. I mean, Wally Hall wrote a column that I disagree with about the idea of, hey, SEC just cancel the game, Alabama pay Arkansas off. I think you got to play the game. You know, the whole idea of what the SEC wants to do is to have every team play all 10 games.
Yep, I agree.
And so hopefully sometime in the next couple of days, we'll find out what the plan is for next Saturday. But, of course, this Saturday, it's Arkansas-Missouri in the Battle Line rivalry. And Hogs have a shot at this one. I think it should be a winnable football game, considering you should get your guys back. 2 weeks without a game, all of those sore muscles and ligaments you can heal up, and COVID hopefully won't be a big issue for Arkansas this week. So go get them on Saturday against Mizzou, and we'll talk some football with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South next. Stay tuned.
It's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Brinkgrove Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no-credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at frankgrovefurniture.com. Brinkgrove Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Water, so it's easier than ever to take care of. Invest in yourself this year. Get more out of your day with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, see them for yourself on their showroom floor. There's 28 different models to choose from. So stop in today at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and you can look anytime online at burtonpools.com. Hot spring spas at Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, an office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations on Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are open with limited seating until further notice. They're open 11 till 6 Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Corral, play fake and a roll to his right. Fires and it's picked off. Catalan at the 35. Oh my goodness, he's going to score. Touchdown, Arkansas. Catalan, 33 yards on the interception return. Corral threw it right to him. And Catalan was a blur into the end zone.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at Matt Jenkins 44. Now back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
And heading into the home stretch of the SEC regular football season, I feel like we've got to call it the same thing I did for Major League Baseball. This is not a regular season. This is a highly irregular season. But it looks like you're going to at least be able to get this whole thing in, and we'll see what happens the rest of this week. Of course, Arkansas did not play football last week, but there were plenty of games in the SEC, and in fact, Arkansas was the only game that did not get played. Arkansas, Missouri. So at least that's one thing the league has going for him. Talk about that here with Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South. Connor, did you get yourself enough turkey, enough dressing, some sandwiches? You have a lot of leftovers here. What's the deal in your fridge?
So I am just finishing some leftovers right now. Actually, I just had some lunch. I did the Thanksgiving dinner last Wednesday with my wife's company. They put on annually a Thanksgiving dinner every year. Had a socially distanced Thanksgiving dinner outside, but I had ham for Thanksgiving, and I get the choice. Sometimes I pick turkey, sometimes I pick ham. But you know what? I am not gonna sit here and pretend like ham for Thanksgiving is some like traditional thing. I get it. Not everybody likes it. I haven't had the best experience with turkey. I've had good turkeys, but to me, ham has just got a much higher floor than turkey does, and that's why I sometimes default to it.
Well, you're not going to find me criticizing you about that choice. I would only criticize you if you fasted on Thanksgiving, because I don't know anybody that does that, or at least not voluntarily. All right, what can we get into for the SEC this last week? A lot made of Sarah Fuller's kickoff in the second half for Vanderbilt. It's so interesting, too, because you have these stories one day after the other involving Vanderbilt. One, an uplifting story involving the first female player in the history of Power 5 football. And I understand it was one play and a squib kick, but she played. And then Derek Mason is shown the door the very next day. It's pretty interesting how things change sometimes, huh?
Vandy is having itself a weekend. We can say that. What happened with Sarah Fuller was one of the cooler things that I think we've seen in college sports in this weird, strange year in which it seems like everything is being taken from us. And I took the side of, look, I'm going to appreciate the historic moment, something that I think we'll be talking about years from now, and something that could open doors potentially down the road for anybody who wants to follow in her footsteps. And somebody has to be the first to do something. And I give her, so much praise for being willing to take on the criticism, which she knew she was going to face, and to be willing to do something like that and help out Vandy, who was desperate for help. I mean, that's why this situation unfolded in the first place. Vandy's numbers have been terrible. I mean, they've been depleted the entire year. They had the first person opt out in the SEC of college football, and that was Orrin Milstein, who was their kicker. Like, they have had major issues all year with depth. So I give her praise for doing what she did over the weekend. And then, yeah, with Derek Mason getting fired the very next day, I mean, that is kind of peak 2020. Like, something good and inspiring happens, and then immediately we're reminded, oh, yeah, there's probably always going to be some bad to follow. A tough day, a somewhat inevitable day, but at the same time, we were questioning what this was going to look like in a pandemic year. And Candace Story-Lee, their new athletic director, made the decision that Derek Mason didn't deserve a year 8, and they're going to go in a new direction.
Well, and then there's also the idea that maybe Derek Mason could feel better about not working for a school that quite obviously doesn't care about football at all, and the administration doesn't really back that program up as much as they do some of the other athletic programs on that campus. So let's move on to programs that actually do care about football. Texas A&M and Florida, this is an interesting battle of what could end up being one of the two teams out of the SEC that could conceivably end up in the college football playoff. I think by now we've already put Alabama in the playoff. They're going to roll against LSU. If they play Arkansas, they'll probably beat the Razorbacks as well. And I think, even if they lose in the SEC championship game, Bama's done enough to get into the playoff. But Florida and Texas A&M, right now, it's like they're playing for style points. And I feel like A&M's win over Florida has almost been discounted in some ways. And with a win over LSU, just 20-7, meanwhile Florida rolls on Kentucky, it feels like there might even be a little momentum towards Florida outranking A&M soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because I was just having a conversation with my brother who writes for our Big Ten site, Saturday Tradition, and we were talking about Ohio State's playoff chances, and he was like, well, who's A&M's big win against? I'm like, Florida. He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, a lot of things have happened since then to make us kind of forget, what A&M has done since that loss to Alabama. I actually argued last week that I thought Florida's resume overall was better than A&M's. Obviously, the head-to-head still matters, but I don't think necessarily it's going to come down to those two teams. So I don't want to spend as much time debating between them because right now, I mean, that's all going to get sorted out, right? If Florida wins in the SEC championship, Florida's getting into the playoff. There's nothing A&M can do about that, despite the fact that they'll both be one-loss teams. The selection committee has left that open right now for that to happen. But it is interesting because I think that both of these teams have been hoping to have. They're hoping to have better efforts over the weekend, and they're hoping to be able to win these games, by 40 points. But that ultimately didn't happen. I think that side by side, their resumes will become a little bit less relevant as we move forward here, just because Florida's path is very, very easy to dissect. A&M's path is a lot more complicated with a lot of moving pieces. So I think that's just something that we're going to have to keep in mind as we talk about A&M. I'm not sure style points matter as much as we think so with them.
Speaking of Connor O'Gara here on Halftime, Connor, you bring up the Florida Gators. Do you think the Gators could match up with the Crimson Tide when we get to the SEC championship game? Do you think the Gators could match up with Alabama and maybe upset the Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to score some points. I don't think they're stopping that Alabama offense. They're just not. And I think that, with each passing game, we're realizing that what Steve Sarkisian is doing with that offense is special. I mean, they just continue to dominate teams. And it doesn't necessarily – I mean, they currently have the longest FBS streak ever with at least 35 points in a game dating all the way back to the start of the 2019 season. I mean, this team just scores, and we're thinking, oh, Jalen Waddle's out. This all of a sudden opens the door. No, it doesn't. Alabama's just going to keep putting up points no matter who they're playing against. And this is a Florida secondary that has had its fair share of issues. I think Florida would definitely score some points. I don't doubt that. I think as good as Alabama's defense has been, Florida's offense has been relatively unstoppable, but I still right now would say that Alabama's going to have the advantage because I think they will be able to get a few more of those defensive stops, and that's the key in 2020. You don't have to have a defense that holds teams to 7 points. You just got to have a defense that can get a few stops for you, and you can hope that your offense can do the rest, and knowing that you're probably going to have to score 40 points to win one of these big-time games. But as boring as it is, I'd probably still give Alabama the advantage right now.
A little bit of SEC news that came across during the weekend. I believe it's been confirmed this morning. DeJuan Mathis has entered the transfer portal with Georgia, which kind of at first kind of surprised me just based off – I mean, obviously started against the Razorbacks to start the year, struggled a little bit, then they move on to Stetson Bennett. But the more I thought about it just like this morning and now the news coming out officially now, not really surprised by this move. Are you?
No, that's been the writing on the wall. A lot of people said as soon as this came out over the weekend that this is inevitable. And, I say it's somewhat inevitable because what we've seen play out with JT Daniels is a sign that if he is there, he's going to be the guy moving forward, assuming he doesn't leave for the NFL draft after this year. Remember, he is draft eligible, but the sample size has not been good, and Arkansas was a part of that, and we saw him in the opener just not look ready. I mean, this is somebody who, yes, he's played very limited. Basically, he's only played in 2 games this year and only completed 40% of his passes. It was really rough against Florida. There's somebody that's going to take a chance on him, and he's still going to be somebody that's going to have, I think now with this year with eligibility not counting, he's going to have 3 years of eligibility left. So, the tools are there. The fit just wasn't. Maybe if he can go into the right sort of place and develop a little bit more and not be kind of thrust into that role, maybe he's going to have a chance. But, yeah, I mean, I think Arkansas did some things to him that certainly made a lot of people realize that Juan Mathis might not be ready to play big-time college football yet.
Speaking of the Razorbacks, we can't let you go without getting your opinion on the Razorbacks' upcoming matchup and obviously taking on Missouri this Saturday at 11 a.m. And, Connor, I think when you look at it, I think I'll pay – this may be the Arkansas bias coming out of me. If Arkansas has all their key players back, particularly on that defensive line, linebacker, receivers, whatever – the spots that were missing, that were the glaring missing ones against the LSU game, Arkansas should be in good shape against this Missouri matchup. And I'm obviously – you can't take Missouri lightly in this matchup, but I just feel like if Arkansas has those key guys back and Arkansas plays well, it should result in a win this Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I would tend to think that, but, man, lost in the shuffle of Sarah Fuller's historic debut was Mizzou played a really good game. And I know it's against the Bandies, so you take it with a grain of salt, but this is a Mizzou defense that, you know, I tend to think that we kind of think, oh, okay, Barry Odom, now that he's with Arkansas, this Mizzou defense was automatically going to take a big step back. That hasn't happened. Ryan Walters has done a tremendous job in his same role that he was in on Barry Odom's staff at Mizzou. Nick Bolton is the defensive player of the year probably in the SEC, and they are really kind of coming into form. And I think that that's a Mizzou team that all of a sudden you think, man, that's not going to be a fun team to play against for 60 minutes. And really is going to depend on this game plan. You would trust Barry Odom to have the right game plan to shut down a team that he's been very familiar with. But at the same time, it's a very new offense that Eli Drinkwitz has. Larry Roundtree looked darn good against Vandy. And if this is a team that blocks up front, it's going to be a difficult 60-minute fight for Arkansas. A couple weeks ago, I would have said, yeah, definitely give me Arkansas to win this game by a touchdown. Now, I think this is a coin flip, and it could come down to the last possession.
Connor, I got a couple of things for you here. One in the SEC, and then we'll finish out with a Big Ten thought. I know LSU lost their top receiver, Terrace Marshall Jr., to an opt-out for the final two games. He's the third leading receiver in the SEC, also ranks third in touchdowns. I can't even believe I'm thinking this, because Georgia is a 33.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt. Alabama right now, 27.5-point favorite against LSU, and I see Alabama absolutely crushing LSU, maybe more so than Georgia beats Vanderbilt. What do you think?
You know, I don't know if Terrace Marshall saw the writing on the wall and saw, you know what, I'm going to have to go up against Patrick Surtain this weekend, and that doesn't seem like a fun way to spend my Saturday. But, you know, it's a very interesting time to opt out after they lose because he's been phenomenal this year. I mean, all that guy has done is catch touchdowns. I mean, he's been so good since he came back from injury in 2019, but yeah, I think now without him, this favors Alabama a lot. And I know that there are LSU fans hoping that defense turned the corner after what they did to Texas A&M. The pass defense finally looked good. But this is still an Alabama team that you can't defend man-to-man. You can't defend Devontae Smith man-to-man. And Steve Sarkisian is going to scheme guys open. In a battle of Steve Sarkisian versus Bo Pelini, give me Steve Sarkisian 10 times out of 10 in that. So I still think this is going to be a lopsided game. But maybe timing of this, even though LSU finally looking a little bit, better on the defensive side of the ball, impacts what that spread is going to look like. And maybe they aren't necessarily as ripe for the picking as they were a few weeks ago.
So, all right, is the Big Ten going to even have a championship game? There's thoughts that Ohio State's game with Michigan State this weekend could get canceled. That would put them below the threshold necessary to play for the Big Ten title. Not, however, there is no threshold for the college football playoff, so it's a little bit difficult to wrap your mind around that thought. You can't play for the conference title. You can play for a national championship. But, I mean, right now in the Big Ten, things are worse than they've been, I think, even since the start of the season.
They're going to play a Big Ten championship. They're going to do whatever they can to move mountains to give Ohio State a chance. I said it coming into this year, the Big Ten acted the way that it did, and it wanted to fit in as close to a full season as possible at the last minute because you realized, wow, we could be ruining Ohio State's chance to win a national championship. This was an Ohio State team that had the best chance to do that since that 2015 team did, where they returned so much talent. And as we know, national championships in the Big Ten are few and far between. And that's been the motivation all along. They're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they change the threshold or they schedule more matches for Ohio State because they know how important it is to get Ohio State into the playoff. And they're not necessarily going to let these cancellations try and impact that. They're going to do everything in their power, I have to think.
Connor, it's great talking with you as always. Glad to be back with you on this Monday. Enjoy the football this week. We'll talk about it Monday next week.
Thanks, Connor.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
Connor O'Gara from Saturday Down South joining us every Monday on Halftime. And keep in mind about this Marshall opt-out. This is the time of the year, usually when things are normal, where the players begin to opt out before bowl season. So this feels a little more normal. But you got 2 regular season games left. I would do probably the same thing. He's ready for the NFL, and no reason to go out and get embarrassed, I guess. Hey, make sure you head to hitthatline.com to enter the home free for a year sweepstakes. You can win up to $15,000 in free rent or mortgage for a year. Just go to hitthatline.com. You'll see the free rent banner on the top of the page. Click it, give your info. We'll have a winner announced December 14th. Brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Chambers Bank, and ESPN Arkansas. Wrapping up the first hour next.
Best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
In the mood for a top shelf night, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of their delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Garrison in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Are you ready to take the next step? Want to make real money? How about averaging $2,800 per week? United Welding Institute is accepting new students to shape into high-paid career welders. Graduates of United Welding Institute find great-paying jobs in the oil field, power plants, refineries, pipelines, and more. United Welding Institute in Pottsville, Arkansas has been training professional field-tested welders since 2013. Change your life and call 479-968-3390 or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out on the web at artriallawyers.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Second down for Mississippi State. Costello rolling to his right. Flags are down. Fires toward the sideline. It's intercepted. Intercepted down at the 36-yard line. Coming out of there with it was Joe Fouché. Off play action. Costello has it picked off by Fouché. Fouché takes it away at the 21. Fouché with the pick, and the Hogs have the football.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Oh, I didn't even get a chance to ask Connor O'Gara about the can of tuna. I should have, and I forgot about it here. Yeah, you're wondering where this is coming from, SmackDown.
Yes, explain.
We got a tweet from Hooten's Football
about
Brett Bielema, believed to be the top candidate for the Southern Miss job.
Damn, they're desperate.
Do you ever remember Connor referring to Bielema as the can of tuna that everybody? It's like, you've got that in the cupboard if you don't have anything else for dinner, but you're not going to eat it unless it's the last thing. So, Bielema's been like that can of tuna for some of the football programs, like what? Kansas State, Michigan State, a couple of others, I think. And now he's the can of tuna for Southern Miss. Though, I hear they do like tuna in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So this would actually make sense. Failing at Arkansas, bouncing around from the Patriots to the Giants, getting sued and all of that. It could lead to trying to rebuild a coaching career in Hattiesburg at Southern Miss. That actually can be occasionally a halfway decent program. It's not right now. I believe they're on their third different coach of this weird football season.
And they had 2 resign this season, right? Or something like that?
Yeah.
It was one of those weird, odd circumstances. But, yeah, that's I wish we could have gotten into that. And I've forgotten the tuna reference. And then as soon as you said Bielema, it popped in my head because I do remember him talking about that. And it's a great comparison to compare Brett Bielema to a can of what brand of tuna is Brett Bielema?
Chicken.
Well, I don't know if it would be Starkist, would it?
What'd you say,
Starkist is the ultimate tuna brand.
But if it's called Chicken of the Sea, is it chicken? Remember that, gal?
It's a good question, Jessica. Very good question.
I've never been a tuna guy, so forgive me for asking a
Nobody ever
question.
Called you Big Tuna as a nickname?
No.
Why are you and Ty then on Saturday having a taco eating contest and not tuna?
Is it really a contest, though?
Hell no, it's not a contest.
Well, we got a tweet from Will Coleman, who apparently already thinks Ty is going to roll you, SmackDown.
What?
So you better start priming the pump.
Who's this guy? Will Coleman?
Will Coleman. That's right. He tweeted us. He says you've got no chance. He wants me to do the play-by-play or console you after your embarrassing defeat to Ty the Stomach Richardson.
Okay, you both have known Ty longer than me. I've only known him for about 6 or 7 months, or I guess, 8 months? I've been here since February, so however that math works out to you. If this was a short contest, like if this was a taco eating contest in 3 or 4 minutes, I would have a hard time. I'll give Ty that benefit of the doubt that he could probably beat me in a speed eating contest of mass quantities.
Oh, really? See, I thought the opposite. I think Ty is just good at large quantities of food. I saw him at River City Bistro yesterday. He had 3 containers full of food for him.
So me and him ate. It was at a place in Fayetteville pre-pandemic, before Arkansas played Tennessee in basketball season. And I ate a lot, but I'm not a slow eater, but I can get into a rhythm and I'm good. The dude threw down a whole thing of chicken wings like that. I was shocked at how quick he can eat. But lengthening it out and the way the rules are going to go, which he made the rules, so if this thing works out bad in his favor, which it's going to, he can have that to cry and moan about.
All right, so you have to describe what the rules are.
So what are the
rules?
Of
eating, my rules of eating are chew, digest, and sit.
So whoever
I'm usually not competitive with anybody else. So how is this working?
So whenever halftime starts, so I guess when the clock hits 0 on the SEC Network broadcast, the taco eating contest begins. It will end when kickoff starts for the second half.
And so somebody has to stand there and count the number of tacos that are going down each of your gullets.
Right. And I haven't asked this yet, but Matty T is going to be my representative, hopefully, and be my Adam Richmond cheerleader. And if you don't know who Adam Richmond is, I'm sorry.
He's Man versus Food.
He's formerly Man versus Food.
The original.
The best Man versus Food. But so we'll do the taco eating contest and just see whoever can eat the most crunchy beef tacos over at Joe's Grill and Cantina.
It is beef.
I assume it's beef. I guess What would you do if you had the choice? You doing chicken?
I always
or beef?
get chicken.
I'm a chicken guy too, but and Ty also.
I mean, they're both good.
Oh yeah, Ty just texted me also, and he said we've had multiple people ask if we are live streaming. We will live stream it, and it'll be across all of our social media channels. We'll bring our little Sling studio in here that we use to stream this whole thing with. So it will be out there for the whole general public, and it is entitled "Chaos in the Cantina."
I love it. That's good titling. I feel like we have to have betting odds here and an over-under of tacos eaten and whether or not one of you pukes. So, I mean, it's only Monday. The betting houses haven't put the lines out yet.
Well, see, we need an unbiased third party to set the line. B in Clarksville has been on my side since this whole thing got started, and he tweeted back early this morning when we made it official. He said SmackDown +3, which I think that's a fair line, I think. So I don't know who we can call.
You're not allowed to say what you think is fair and what's not. You're part of the part. You're a participant here.
Maddie, why don't you do it? Make us the line.
I mean, I'm gonna pick you to win.
Smart man, Phil.
It's only because he doesn't want you to beat him senseless.
Who do you got, Phil? You better think long and hard about this.
I'm going to digest all of these, what I know about the two of you guys over the rest of the week, and I will give you a prediction on Friday. So this is going to have to be part of our weekend pick, SmackDown.
I've got a proposal. We'll bring it up in the next segment.
I need to know how you're going to prepare too.
I'll bring that up as well because I've got a few things I'm working on right now for the show this week, if they'll all work out.
4 days of nothing but grapefruit juice, SmackDown. Start now. And you as well start now dialing 877-377-6963. 3 up, 3 down next as we get into the second hour.
Is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7, randallford.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Our weather overnight. Low pressure will be moving out, so we'll get some clearing. It will be cold with our lows in the upper 20s to low 30s. Mid-40s and breezy tomorrow, but we should get plenty of sunshine. It'll be clear on Monday night and cold, and then low 50s and sunny Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hertz Car Sales. Make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard. Call them today at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromhertz.com.
I hate everything you just said.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it! Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play!
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime on a Monday. It is a beautiful day to be outside. And right now is about the perfect time. Get up in the morning, walk out, and it is legit freezing.
It was a tad bit nippy this morning.
Just a little bit.
You stepped outside this morning to go fix some things, and your hair's parted one way right now.
Oh, the satellite outside. Yeah. The wind is a-blowing. It was moving our satellite, and I had to go out during
the
segment there.
Blustery day.
You can see your breath, but right now you can just see the sun. 877-377-6963 if you got calls or texts for us. A couple of questions that I think are legit here. One question from the 479 asking about Saturday's football game. Of course, Jalen Catalon will not be on the field in the first half. So how many touchdowns does Missouri score based upon that fact? Missouri's favored by 2 right now. If Catalon was out for the entire game, I legit think that adds at least a point or 2 to the line. He means that much to this defense.
So if he was out the whole game and the line's at 2 for Missouri, you think it'd go to 4 or 5?
To 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
I do think he means that much. I do think that helps. That helps Missouri leaps and bounds in the first half. Absolutely leaps and bounds. And it'll be very interesting to see because you could tell this in the Texas A&M game. The moment that Catalon went out of that game, they just attacked the middle over and over and over again, and that was pretty much game, set, match. We'll have this clear delineation between the first half and second half with Catalon, without Catalon, and have a sense of the effect of what he has, maybe not even just statistically, but the way that Missouri plans to attack Arkansas's defense with Catalon on the field or without Catalon on the field. I do think that gives them a couple extra scoring opportunities. I really do think that's how good Jalen Catalon is. Jeremiah in Cedarville asks, why do people assume that KJ Jefferson has not improved? He's been doing everything asked and has the benefit of Felipe's experience and guidance, something he didn't get the last 2 years. Well, I don't know. I'm not assuming anything about KJ because we haven't seen anything of him, and I don't know what to think. All we've seen from KJ this year are a couple of plays inside the 5-yard line, and they didn't let him throw. So I don't know what to think about KJ Jefferson. It would be a little too simplistic to say, well, just because he is sitting behind Felipe Franks that he's improving. We don't know that. You won't know that until he steps on the football field in an actual game against a real opponent and has to go out and do things. That's kind of like, you brought up SmackDown the idea of Dwan Mathis transferring out of Georgia and how much of a surprise that might feel when he was the starting quarterback the first half of the year.
But look at what happened since.
But he wasn't any good.
Exactly.
He was not an accurate quarterback at all. And so it can't be a surprise that he's gone right now.
And I don't think and I know you're not making this assumption, but I don't think it's also fair to put that in the context with KJ Jefferson because the only 2 times that we've seen KJ Jefferson this year were goal line stuffs at the end zone. That's
all you can go by when you're talking about. I understand KJ is a top prospect, 4-star, rifle arm, good speed, good size. All we know is what we've read about him and what others have told us about him in scrimmages, in practice, and that does not hold water in games. It never does.
I agree.
It never does. So I'm not assuming anything about KJ. I will assume the idea that with Felipe Franks probably gone next year, you have 2 quarterbacks that have virtually no experience playing in games this upcoming season, and that can't be a good thing for Arkansas. So I do think they're going to have to be in the market for a graduate transfer quarterback. Just for some legit – there will be competition between Jefferson and Hornsby, but I would like to have a quarterback with some experience playing college football.
And I don't know if necessarily – I think the chances of this are low, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Felipe Franks comes back next season.
No, I think he's gone.
You think
I think
so?
he's gone.
The chances of that, in my opinion, are very low. But, I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather go – I mean, yes, he would make money in the NFL, don't get me wrong, but go sit on the bench for 2 or 3 years being what I think would probably be a 3rd, 4th, 5th-round pick in the NFL draft right now, or come back to Arkansas and build on what has been a pretty darn strong season so far. The record may not necessarily go with that right now, but from where Arkansas has been, and you've been the catalyst, you being Felipe Franks, have been the catalyst to really get the ship turned in the right direction. He comes back next season. You're obviously going to lose Rakeem Boyd, theoretically. I guess he could come back as well with the blanket return waiver thing, whatever. Arkansas next year, depending on who comes back with next year, but if Felipe Franks comes back next year, Arkansas is going to be looking pretty next year, and I think that's an intriguing option for Felipe Franks.
I don't think it is, because honestly, I think it's what would you rather do? You'd say you don't have to come back to school. It's not necessary.
Fair.
So the idea of playing would be the reason, or just loving campus life during a pandemic. So I don't know what that means. But, getting paid, don't have to go to class.
That's true. Money talks.
You're probably not going to get hit very much since you're not going to play very much. I think he's done what he came to do here, which is first of all, be a starting quarterback in the SEC and show what you can do for the NFL scouts. He's having a great year. Mm-hmm. I think he has moved himself into the NFL draft. I do think right now, I think it's a sure thing he goes in the draft. I don't know what round. I mean, he's not a 1st, 2nd, 3rd round or 4th, 5th round, 6th round. Yes, I think he goes. I think that's what he came here for, because he wasn't going to play at Florida. He wasn't. I think he wanted to play in the SEC. I think he saw a coordinator that he could get with, a coach that he could get with, and a team that desperately needed a quarterback where he really didn't have to compete for playing time. And I think 1 year will be enough for him here. Would I like to see Felipe leading the Razorback offense for a second season? You bet. I think that it would be leaps and bounds better with him than without him. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I think Arkansas won't be as good offensively next year without a quarterback that has played some college football. Yeah. And I from what I've read and heard about Malik Hornsby and KJ Jefferson, they sound like fine athletes. They sound like they were terrific high school quarterbacks. I don't know what that means coming into the SEC. It might not mean anything. There have been so many failed prospects that were 4 or 5 stars in high school that just couldn't cut it in the SEC. You have 2 wild cards coming back next year. They could be great. They could be bad. Felipe Franks is much more of a known quantity. Any other quarterback that has played Power 5 college football would be a known quantity. So I just don't see the incentive for Felipe to come back unless he just really loves playing college football and that's it. I think he's done what he's come here for.
I agree. It's a double-sided coin. I don't think we'll ever know the question, but I think it's something we'll think about definitely when the end of the season rolls around.
Mike in Fort Smith says the only incentive for Franks is because the QB draft class is loaded.
That would be my argument against what you just said there. I agree with Mike.
Well, who are the quarterbacks that would call this a loaded draft class? You got Mac Jones, there's Kyle Trask, there's
Trevor
Justin
Lawrence.
Fields, Trevor Lawrence. Are those the top 4? The kid out of BYU, 5. Kellen Mond, maybe 6.
Blanking on the kid in Miami.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Derek King.
Derek King, thank you.
That's 7. That's loaded. That's loaded. But also, I don't see Franks as like one of the elite prospects for the NFL. I think his size, the arm strength, and I think him coming back from the injury the way he's done and the way he's helped stabilize Arkansas at that important position this year, that stands for something. I just don't know how much farther up in the draft he can go. Then again, to play devil's advocate on this topic, did anybody think Kyle Trask was going to be a drafted quarterback a year ago? Did anybody think the same thing about Mac Jones a year ago? Did anybody know who this kid from BYU was a year
Exactly.
ago? No, maybe not. Maybe not.
Real quick, got this announcement come from the SEC in regards to the Arkansas-Alabama game possibly being rescheduled or just an Arkansas game being scheduled, period. This is a tweet from the SEC at the SEC. The SEC tentatively plans to determine and announce its schedule of football games for December 12th and December 19th on this coming Friday, December 4th of this week. Kickoff times and TV selections for the December 12th and 19th games will be announced on Sunday, December 6th.
Okay, but they still haven't said that Arkansas will play anybody next week, right?
Correct, but
They just
theoretically
said that they're going to announce times for what games.
Correct. So theoretically, hopefully, by Friday, we'll know, A, if Arkansas is playing Alabama, or A/B, who Arkansas is going to be playing, and then C, what time and what channel by the end of the weekend.
You look on the SEC website, which for me, that would be the place I'd look to see whether, who they're scheduling where. There's only 3 games on the SEC website schedule for Saturday, December the 12th. LSU at Florida, Auburn at Mississippi State, A&M at Tennessee. Says nothing about Arkansas, nothing about Alabama, and in fact, it says nothing about more than half the league. So have fun in Birmingham, guys. And right now, you can also get a hold of the Fence Man if you own a business that needs more security or just needs more curb appeal. Call 479-782-3936, and the Fence Man will be there for a quick, no-obligations quote. Nobody does it any better than the Fence Man as far as custom installations. They've been doing it over 40 years. That's 479-782-3936 for the Fence Man, a division of Quantum Property Services. If you got room for one more phone number, it's 877-377-6963 on halftime. We come back after the break. 3 Up, 3 Down is next, and then we talk with Jason Carroll from Pig Trail Nation.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frankrow Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no-credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at frankrowfurniture.com. Frankrow Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Frankrow Furniture at 405 4th Street in Barling is your made-in-the-USA furniture, bedding, and appliance store, proudly supporting American jobs and industry. Come in and see Aaron or Tyler about made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, furniture from Eads Brothers, Catnappers, Southern Motion, Best Home Furnishing, and Union Furniture. In-store no credit check financing available. Find them on Facebook or at FrankRowFurniture.com. Frank Row Furniture, best seats in the house.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins. Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
We are everywhere. We're like the ocean's waves.
Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to Halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Smackdown.
Text out of the 817 area code, so I'm not even sure where that is. Asking about, so he says you can't trust KJ Jefferson or Malik Hornsby because they don't have experience, but how do they ever get experience? If you keep going the grad transfer route for quarterbacks, sometimes got to trot the guys out, right? Conceivably, yes, but I would feel so much better with either one of those quarterbacks starting for Arkansas with the knowledge that they have beaten out a quarterback that has won games in college first. I'm not saying either one of these two can't play the position. I'm just saying we don't know right now. They have not had the opportunity to show that. At some point, one or two of them will get that opportunity, but I would feel so much better knowing that they've beaten out a quarterback that has played and won some college games, and that's the thought behind it. I think you need to have some experience in that quarterback room, even if that grad transfer or whatever doesn't start for you. At least they've raised the level of competition for the most important position on the field. So I don't think there's any way that you go into next season with just Hornsby and Jefferson and whatever other walk-ons are there. I don't think Franks will be back, but I do think that there'll be a grad transfer that comes in. Let's go to the phones. We got PA and Texarkana on hold. Hey, PA, you're on Halftime. What's up?
Well, at some point you're going to have to trust the guys we recruit. I understand what you're saying about, you can't go from hopping 1 year to the next. Hoping that you get a good grad transfer. I think we found ourselves a little lucky in getting Felipe Franks this year, but those types don't come along. Those are far and few and in between. I just think our offensive coordinator has been on Malik Hornsby since he was a ninth grader, and that's his type of quarterback. One that's fast, one that can get on the corner, one that he's got a satisfactory arm. It's not as good as Felipe Franks, but whose is. I think KJ Jefferson's probably going to transfer because he sees if Malik Hornsby beats him out, he sees the handwriting on the wall because of the new kid, that Landon Collins. Is that his name? He's coming in. And I think Malik Hornsby's the man. I mean, they stuck him out there one time and tried to get him to run, on inside the 5-yard line and tried to get him to do this little end round without anybody out there dragging across the field and pass patterns to throw to. You can't. That doesn't work in the SEC. They were just hoping that sheer speed would get him there. And then when they put KJ Jefferson there, they ran him right up the middle, and that didn't work. So, I mean, Malik's the future of this team, and if he's not, we're in deep trouble because we can't keep getting. We're not going to get Florida transfers, or we're going to get more like New Mexico State transfers, or Creighton or something like that. We're not getting another Felipe Franks. So we might as well just settle in, and our offensive coordinator feels real good. He's been recruiting Malik Hornsby since he was in the 9th grade. So let them work together. Let them work it out. He's got foot speed. He's a 6A champion in the 100-meter dash in Texas, which Texas is a darn big state. So let him. It might be ugly at first.
Okay, well, that would be the thing I wonder about then. So if you don't have a quarterback who's got experience on the roster, if Malik crashes and burns over the first couple of games, which that's a possibility for any quarterback in this crazy league, what happens next? Who's the next guy up? Then you go to a true freshman. And I also understand the idea that you might not get the same kind of caliber quarterback that you have with this year with Felipe Franks and Ohio State and other schools, Georgia, they're the ones that get the top-notch junior college transfers, or not junior college, just 4-year college transfers. I remember Arkansas getting looks, though, and I'm not going to point to Ben Hicks as being an all-star college quarterback, but Shane Buechele gave Arkansas a real look before choosing SMU, and obviously
De'Aaron King did too.
Made the right choice. De'Aaron King did as well. There's plenty of quarterbacks who have won games in Division I college football that are looking to move every single year. We've seen that the last couple of years. There will be more.
And go ahead.
Well, there will be more of those quarterbacks that are looking to switch programs this upcoming offseason. It's just that's the way college football is now. And because Arkansas plays in the SEC, they're going to get looks. They're going to get looks from kids who want to show what they have in the top league in college football and to show off for scouts.
That was my point. Yep, that's what I was going to say, because you got players that are going to want to jump into the SEC and have an opportunity. But both of you guys make good points. I mean, I hear where PA's coming from. I hear where you're coming from. But I guess this is going to be an argument we're going to have in December, January, post-bowl games, and we'll see what happens.
I know we're going to do 3 up, 3 down in this segment. Let's push that to the last segment because we got Jason Carroll coming up here.
Okay.
I am not discounting at all the talent of Malik Hornsby or the relationship that he's had with Kendall Briles or the idea that Briles has had his eye on him for 4 or 5 years. What I am trying to communicate across here is that what you'll have next year, Landon Rogers, Lucas Coley, KJ Jefferson, and Malik Hornsby. The only player that's been in college football for 2 years amongst those players is KJ Jefferson, and he's played a total of what? A game and a couple of plays. That's it. Maybe a game and a half. So if the starter that Sam Pittman chooses for Week 1 next season blows up, has a DeJuan Mathis half or something like that, and you want to make a change, who are you going to? It's
a fair point. It's a fair point, but it's a double-sided sword. You make pros and cons for both sides of the deal because eventually you're going to have to throw somebody out there who may not have the experience of that. And you're right. There are a lot of different players out there that Arkansas could go get, like a Felipe Franks, De'Aaron King, Shane Buechele, and all those guys. But those guys don't grow on trees sometimes. You're right. There are plenty of those guys out there. I hear you on that. But you recruit these guys, come in here and play, and I think you got to give the kids a chance sometime. And I think it's also safe to assume next year, I don't say safe to assume, I think it's more than likely you're not going to see an all-conference schedule. So most of these kids, hopefully COVID will be much more under control than it is right now and everything else, that it just say, for example, you do start Malik Hornsby. He isn't starting his first game as a collegiate quarterback against the Georgia Bulldogs and their, at that point was the 5th-ranked defense in the country. He could be starting against Arkansas State, for example, or a lower-tier school that's not going to just blitz him all game and hope for the best with that. He'll have time to prove himself against other talent, and maybe and looking further ahead, Maybe these kids will have a spring practice, summer ball, spring ball, all this other stuff to try to get game reps and get game experience before they move into SEC play.
Text from Hubie saying that, if Arkansas gets in the pattern of starting grad transfers, less high-ranked recruits will look at Arkansas than they do now. I don't see the evidence of that right now because they've started grad transfers 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, and they've recruited the position just fine this year. Just fine. What recruits want is the knowledge that they can compete for the position. Bringing in a grad transfer for next year does not mean that Malik and KJ and whomever else does not compete for the position in fall camp or in spring ball, if we do have spring ball. What it means is that you have more experience at the most important position so that if the less experienced quarterbacks blow up and don't succeed, you've got somebody standing by that has at least shown they can play the position. I understand, too. Look, Nick Starkel and Ben Hicks didn't do very well last year. Not at all. Starkel's done fine when San Jose State's played this season. Maybe it was the coach. Maybe it was the coordinator. Maybe it was just bad mojo for the entire team. But I think you have to have more experience in the quarterback room next year. Whether it's Felipe Franks or another transfer's got to be somebody. Jason Carroll's next.
Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Hertz Car Sales has been serving the River Valley for over 40 years and takes pride in offering exceptional service. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, crossover, or SUV, Hertz offers a big selection of the most popular brands. They're friendly, offer a no-pressure car shopping experience, and their vehicles are high quality and priced competitively. New inventory is arriving daily and trade-ins are always welcome. So make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard, give them a call at 783-1722, or check out their line of quality pre-owned vehicles at buyfromhertz.com.
Make a hot spring spa part of your day-to-day routine and discover what it means to get more out of your day. Hi, Tommy Kraft here for my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas, your local hot spring spa dealer. They have the largest selection for you to choose from. Hey, Hot Spring Spas are the #1 spa brand. They'll help you reduce stress, ease muscle pain, and ultimately get a better night's sleep that'll make you feel better. Hey, some models are now available with salt water, so it's easier than ever to take care of. Invest in yourself this year. Get more out of your day with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Hey, see them for yourself on their showroom floor. There's 28 different models to choose from. So stop in today at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and you can look anytime online at burtonpools.com. Hot Spring Spas at Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Law's Drug is open and ready to safely care for your family. Law's Drug is open 6 days a week and has an easy-to-use drive-thru to pick up your prescriptions or any of their over-the-counter medications or supplements. Or let Law's Drug deliver your medications for free to your home or business. Law's Drug, since 1950 at 6802 Rogers Avenue, behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Whitson Morgan Motor Company, your 2020 Dealer Rater Dealer of the Year, has 4 great locations in the River Valley, giving you a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Choose from Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Chevrolet vehicles right now at Whitson Morgan Motor Company. See their reviews and compare with others. That many people can't be wrong. Visit Whitson Morgan in Clarksville, Ozark, and Russellville, or log on at whitsonmorgan.com for selections and great deals to serve you today.
This is ESPN 95.3. Hey, Surrey! Let's do it. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Smackdown Jenkins.
Franks feeling it, wants to throw off play action. Deep down the middle of the field, he's got Woods at the 5, complete. They drag him down at the 2-yard line. Woods for 50, and it's 1st and goal.
Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to Halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Jason Carroll from Pig Trail Nation standing by. Before we go to him, we got a new giveaway, and this is one that I would like to enter because I've gotten into cycling since I moved up to Northwest Arkansas.
Yes.
This is like the most cyclingest place I've ever seen in my life. It's like a velodrome with 4 different cities. We're giving away a bicycle at hitthatline.com. I'm not allowed to win.
Not just a bicycle. We're giving away 2 bicycles.
That's like twice as good.
Twice the fun. There's so many good giveaways happening right now at hitthatline.com. You got the Hardee's Lunch Bunch. You've got the free rent giveaway, which we'll tell you about here later on in the show. But this is a new one we got going, and you can enter now to win at hitthatline.com. This is brought to you by our friends over at Champion Cycling. You can enter now to win a specialized, and Phil, you might have to help me with this because you're the biker of us, an Elise road bike. Did I say that name right?
I have no clue.
Okay,
I'm a new cycling enthusiast,
Okay.
so I don't know if I can help you with the brand names yet.
Initially, I had asked if we could give away a bicycle built for 2, and they said, how about we just give you 2 separate bicycles?
Darn. Well, that would have been our bicycle. But you can enter to win an Elise road bike, and then we're also giving away a specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike. So there'll be 2 different winners. One will win the adult bike, and one will win the kids bike just in time for Christmas. You can enter now through December 18th, and then that'll be just in plenty of time to get that thing under the Christmas tree. And that's brought to you by our friends over at Champion Cycling. You can find them at 5500 Massard Road here in Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-484-7500, or check out their inventory online at www.championcycling.com.
You can make some ramps and get some sick air.
And it's not just the Christmas tree as well, SmackDown. You got to try to fit that thing under the Hanukkah lamp, too.
That's a good point.
And Hanukkah starts before Christmas this year. It's a couple weeks away, so.
Make sure we have the Adam Sandler song queued up for that show.
I better start.
Part 1 and 2.
Yes.
Better start getting my potato latkes ready. And the
I had
oil
some of those
bubbling.
yesterday.
Let's go to Jason Carroll.
Has Jason ever had potato latkes?
Of Pig Trail Nation. I don't know, but I was thinking about the idea of this 2-man bicycle.
Yes.
I would love to see a tandem bicycle combination of SmackDown, Matty T, and Jason Carroll. So, Jason, if you were on that 3-man tandem bike, I'm assuming you would want to be on the front seat, correct?
Probably. I mean,
Well,
would we go anywhere?
Well, who's on the rear? Because that's going to be the better question. If I'm on the rear, Jason's going to be doing a lot of pedaling trying to get this thing moving.
Well, I got the leg strength to do it. I don't know.
Yes,
if you
sir.
do, though.
There you go.
I mean, no, am I eligible to win that bike? Then Phil and I can go on bike rides on the trails.
Jason always wants to know if he's eligible for these things. Well, no, we're not. We never pay you here from ESPN Arkansas, Jason. So maybe you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hitthatline.com. You know where to go.
There's only one way you can enter, and then if you do win, we'll just leave it up to.
I don't want to take it from a person that deserves it. So,
I would love to be riding next to you, Jason. So let me get you in on this conversation we've had the last couple of segments involving the quarterback situation for next year. Because first of all, I don't think Felipe Franks comes back. Do you see him coming back for a second year under any circumstance? And what circumstance would that be?
I give it less than 5% chance, and it would just be his feedback would not be of that, which would lead to him being a guy that's going to get drafted. And I've said it on the show before. I think he's going to be anywhere from a 5th to 7th round draft pick, maybe higher. But you just never know. I mean, he's had such a good season. in the abbreviated season so far, and you look at where he's going to rank in the history of just seasons at Arkansas, I don't see him coming back. So that leads you to believe you're going to need to get a grad transfer because you're going to have these red shirts or these true freshmen coming in. And I don't know if KJ is going to be here next year or not, but he's the only one that's got experience. I mean, Malik Hornsby's got those 2 rushes, and that's it. And so they're going to be in a bad spot at quarterback next year, whatever happens, unless they were to bring in another grad transfer type quarterback, which could happen.
Well, that's exactly what I see happening, and I think it has to happen, to be honest. Not even for the idea that grad transfer has to be the starter, but I would just feel so much better. Let's say that it is Malik Hornsby that's the starting quarterback next year. I would feel so much better knowing that Malik has beaten out a veteran, experienced college quarterback than just beating out a couple of true freshmen. And if KJ is still around, a guy that's played a game in a series. So I think that Arkansas, if Franks doesn't come back, and I don't, to be honest, I don't think it matters. I don't think it does affect recruiting quarterbacks at all. I think what it just does is stabilize the team for next year, which should lead to being able to bring in some quarterbacks because you got a program that's winning games. I think they have to have a veteran quarterback next year. That's at the top of the list of needs.
Yeah, I just don't know if they can bring one in or not. Their numbers are pretty tight right now, so if they're going to do it, they're going to have to figure that out pretty quick because they've got 2 quarterbacks committed, high school guys, signing days, a couple of weeks away. I don't know what the situation is going to be for them scholarship-wise to do that. Now, I'm not saying they won't get it done if that's what they need. At some point, though, you've got to get these guys experience playing, or you're going to keep recycling and doing the same thing over and over again, where you're never going to have guys that you actually recruit ever play for you. So you might have to bite the bullet next year and just go out with one of those, whether it's KJ Jefferson, Malik Hornsby, or these 2 freshmen they're bringing in, and just play them and see what you get. And maybe lightning strikes with one of those 4 guys, and you move on and kind of build that program around that person that you might have for 3 or 4 years instead of trying to hit lightning in a bottle. I mean, because you look at what they did last year, they tried to hit lightning in a bottle, and it blew up in their face with those 2 guys. So maybe they just play the guys that they have coming in and see what happens.
Jason Carroll, the Pig Trail Nation, here with us on halftime. Jason, just got a couple things for you before we wrap it up. Looking ahead to this Arkansas-Missouri game, where's your thought process right now with this football game? I think me and Phil kind of both agree that with the talent coming back that's been either quarantined, have been positive, whatever it is, with the talent coming back, I think Arkansas should be in good shape. But, Jason, this ain't a Missouri team defensively that you can't take lightly heading into this ball game.
No, it's not. I'm more concerned about stopping Roundtree in the running game. They got the young quarterback who's made some plays this year, but I think you can make him make some mistakes like you've made some of the other guys make mistakes. I'm just more worried about them being able to stop the run and contain that. I mean, they do have a good defense, but you look at who they played the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been world beaters offensively in Vanderbilt and South Carolina. So, while they've done those positive things the last 2 weeks defensively, talking about Missouri, I don't think it's been against an offense like Arkansas. So I think Arkansas will be fine offensively. It's can they stop Missouri's running game? Because Roundtree's killed them in the past, and Roundtree's their best option back there, and you just hope that you don't allow those big runs, big scoring plays from him. Because I think Arkansas will win this game probably by 10 points or more, or should win this game by 10 points or more and get their 4th win.
I want to transition over to the Harvard real quick. I mean, Arkansas's 2 games in the men's basketball side of when you look at it. And obviously we weren't on – we had best of shows playing, so we didn't get to talk about the 80-point victory against Mississippi Valley State. And then you transition that into a 14-point victory against North Texas. But the thing that's kind of glaring to me, we tipped off the show with this, Jason, where Arkansas played nearly every guy against Mississippi Valley State, and you saw a lot of the freshmen, a lot of the guys got pretty good equal playing time. North Texas, only 8 guys played, and Vance Jackson only played 8 minutes of the game. Kalen Robinson only played 5 minutes, so you didn't see Jalen Williams. You didn't see Devontae Davis. Is that concerning, or is this just Musselman trying to figure out kind of like what these players got and just kind of tinkering with the lineup and seeing what works and what doesn't?
It's probably matchups for him right now, and he felt like those guys were the best matchups because, again, I've said this, and I'm not going to tell him how to do his job, but Jalen Williams and Devontae Davis sitting on the bench not playing a minute is not a good look for your future recruiting in the state of Arkansas. And, you know, those two guys need to be playing, and I'm not saying you play them a lot if you don't have to, but you don't want 4-stars from the state of Arkansas sitting on the bench, especially in an early season game like that, because that transitions down to that 2022 class where they've got to go out and get those guys. And if guys start seeing that, if that's a trend later on down the line as we move through this non-conference thing, you know, people are going to start looking at that. If you're a 2022 or beyond kid, then there's a lot of talent. That's just my viewpoint there on that. But for him, I'm sure it was about matchups, and Connor Vanover played a lot more because he felt like that he could control the inside a little bit better. They finally got to Connor the last 5-6 minutes of the game and figured out how to play him and get around him. But yeah, Vance got to play more, and I think those younger guys got to play. And that's why you brought them in. They were a top 5 class. They're not going to sit the bench, or they're not going to be here after this year. So.
Jason, we'll leave it there. We're going to be up against the break here. Any chance I get your loveliness in person with me Monday next week, or do we have to have you on the phone again? I miss you.
Just pray that my kid's not virtual again next week, and then you can have me every Monday.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Well, it's more than I got. I need you. I need you, Jason.
I played teacher today for the first time. That was you know.
Professor Carroll. All right, Jason.
Well, we got the work done. Talk to you guys later.
Good.
Thanks,
all right, well,
Jason.
thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on, as always. And don't forget that on Thursday, we're going to be giving away burgers thanks to Hardee's Lunch Bunch at hitthatline.com.
Head to there right now. You click on the Lunch Bunch button at the top of your screen. Leave us your info. This coming Thursday, we'll announce a winner for the Hardee's Lunch Bunch. You can win lunch for your office crew, your job site, you name it. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch is there to take care of you, your coworkers, and all of your hungry bellies. And that's only with the Hardee's Lunch Bunch, brought to you by Hardee's in Northwest Arkansas and in the River Valley.
As promised, 3 up, 3 down to wrap the show up. Cherry on the top here on Halftime next.
State sales tax paid on every vehicle purchased. Now through the end of the month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. You heard right. State sales tax paid on every new Buick GMC and pre-owned vehicle. Now through the end of the month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. You'll save hundreds, even thousands, but you have to buy before the end of the month. This offer does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every new and pre-owned vehicle on the lot at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off 5540 in Fort Smith.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, the Hog Talk Podcast. Fantasy Football Sunday and Primetime Preps, all available on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, hitthatline.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play.
Why has no one done this? I need a pen. Where's a pen?
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
All right, get a chance to wrap the show up here. So, a couple of other things we can get to before that. Isaiah Joe does sign the 3-year contract with the Philadelphia 76ers. Contract is reportedly somewhere in the ballpark of $4.2 million.
Yes.
2 years guaranteed on the deal. Congratulations, Isaiah. Now go make that team and start draining them from the outside. Hey, the NBA season's not far away, right?
Heck, no, it ain't. No,
it's about a month and a half away.
Preseason starts here in a couple weeks, but I think it's the second week of December. Then the actual regular season tips off a couple days before Christmas. So a little bit shortened of a regular season, but hopefully I think the goal is to, if they're able to have fans, then they're able to, but having everything in the regular home venues instead of doing the bubble. So I'm pumped up for it. I'm a big NBA fan. You guys heard me talk about this several times when the playoffs are happening with the bubble. So I'm pumped up for it. We'll see what the Lakers can do. And I think Isaiah Joe, and maybe not necessarily Mason Jones yet. I think it all depends on what happens with James Harden and that contract situation with him and Russell Westbrook. I think Isaiah Joe's got some room to make noise for Doc Rivers and that 76ers team.
A couple of other notes coming from Sam Pittman's Monday Zoom presser. He says he believes that the team will be pretty close to full speed for the Missouri game as far as COVID and injuries are concerned. He was also asked about Arkansas's chance to make a bowl game. This is a quote. I think anytime you win 3 SEC games, that equals anywhere from 6 to 7 in a regular season. I think we'll make a bowl game. We deserve it. There's no doubt. I agree. I mean, I was looking at the same idea. You win 3 SEC games in a regular football season with no pandemic and you don't play 10 SEC games, that means you've probably won 6 total games. You know, if you win 3 SEC games, you should win 3 non-conference games. So, it's a bowl team as far as I'm concerned. The only question is, what side of the new year are they going to play on? So I think that's a given by now. Even if they lose the next 2 games, they're going to be a bowl team. All right, and as we wrap that part up, we will get the show ended with 3 up, 3 down.
It's like a calling card or a shout-out or something. That sucked. The best of the best of the best of the best of the best.
What does 3 up and 3 down mean to you, Airman?
End of an inning.
Well, that's not the worst part.
What is the worst part?
It's time for 3 up, 3 down.
And 3 up, 3 down, as always, brought to you by Ritter Business Communication, providing advanced business services using the fast, most reliable technology on the market, high-speed internet, voice solutions, cloud solutions, networking, and television service. 100% fiber network from Ritter Business, delivering speeds up to 10 gigabits per second. The fiber will be directly connected to your premise. They will customize their services to best fit your needs. Ritter Business knows you by name. They're accessible every day, every hour of the year, and they'll check in with you rather than the other way around. Ritter Business Communications, founded over a century ago right here in Arkansas, where they remain headquartered. RitterBusiness.com, 888-336-4249 to learn more. My first up, it's more of a down, but I just had to laugh about it. When I was prepping for the Maryland basketball game yesterday with Arkansas, I saw the single silliest entry on a bio ever. I mean, ever. This was under the personal section. I don't remember the girl's name who this was part of her bio. Under the personal section, like, this is notable. It says she listens to music before every game.
What?
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been around basketball players now for 16 years. It would be more notable if she didn't listen to music before every single game. I mean, these players, men, women, headphones in, on, earbuds in every single game, whether it's on the road, whether they're on the bus to the arena, or whether they're at home. That's just a part of it. It would be more notable if she listened to Bach or Polka or Lawrence Welk. I mean, who writes this stuff? Did they also credit the idea that she breathes air and enjoys food and wears socks on both feet and drinks water multiple times per game? When am I going to see the bio entry that says, hates her parents, especially her no-good father, doesn't enjoy anything about school, kicks dogs for fun? That would be much more notable than listens to music before every game. I mean, come on, give me a break. My first down, why is the NFL still trying to force this round peg into the square hole of Ravens versus Steelers? Postponed Thursday, postponed Sunday, supposed to play tomorrow. It's snowing in Pittsburgh right now. The Ravens had their Monday practice canceled. They have 30 members of the organization that have tested positive for COVID, not out because of contact tracing. I understand the NFL wants to keep the integrity of the 16-game schedule. It is not necessary to jam this Steelers-Ravens game in tomorrow. I'm a Steelers fan, too. I want to watch them play, but they don't need to play tomorrow. Down, NFL.
First up for me goes to my mom for her homemade mac and cheese over Thanksgiving. Good Lord Almighty. It's hands down the best macaroni and cheese I've ever had and ever will have.
I wish you would have brought some.
I did.
I love mac and cheese.
I would have, but I would have to go into my stomach and get it all out.
You're going to be in a food eating competition with somebody who doesn't like mac and cheese.
See? That's another reason why I'm going to whoop. Never mind.
I think the loser, you know how I am into punishments for you guys. The loser should have to eat his least favorite food. So when you beat Ty, he's got to eat an entire bowl of thick and creamy macaroni and cheese.
I'll eat some more Rocky Mountain oysters.
You liked them too much.
First down for me is all the haters on the internet that trolled the Sarah Fuller and the Vanderbilt kickoff. I mean, it was an incredible moment, especially, and Tommy put it best this morning. Tommy has a daughter, and it was a great moment for women in sports.
Wasn't there a movie about that like 30 years ago?
Something like that.
Quarterback princess.
We're finally there. We're finally there.
So the moment was incredible, but it really irritated me looking at the comments of everybody on Facebook, which I know you shouldn't read about all the comments on Facebook, but it was pitiful to see some of the guys that hated on the moment because like the kickoff was bad. It was just different things like that. So screw all of you that hated on that moment.
And there's more to get into about that, about her halftime speech that she gave to Vanderbilt yesterday, which I found a little bit odd. A, that a kicker is giving a halftime speech. B, that it's someone that's been on the team for 3 days that gave a halftime speech. Maybe it says a little bit more about the state of the program.
There you go.
And that Fuller is just a highly confident person for obviously very good reasons. Second up, my hotel room in Fort Myers at the Hyatt Regency. Oh, boy, 17 floors up. 3 freaking balconies with an amazing view for sunrise and sunset. And I'm not going to ever have a hotel room like that again. Plus, I found this out yesterday when I woke up at 6 o'clock so I could get the Florida sunrise for the last time. Guys, there was a bat colony living in the roof right above me.
Oh, wow.
I mean, a real bat colony.
Baseball bats?
No, I'm talking bats that might have rabies and fly around and give little squeaks and everything and eat insects. I mean, it might freak some people out when I was standing out there at 6:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden, the entire bat colony flew out for its last moment and then flew in at the same time. I'm like, all right. The hotel should be thanking me that I alerted them to that bat colony. Second down, Nate Robinson. Goodness gracious.
No.
Please do not ever box again. And for those that did watch, you're not supposed to lead with your head, Nate. I think that's the same for basketball, too. Way down.
Oh, man, it was incredible. All right, I'll roll through these pretty quick.
Was it worth $50?
I didn't watch it. I saw it on YouTube, and it was quite hysterical.
And it probably was just as entertaining afterwards.
It really was, which I've got a bone to pick with, not a bone to pick with you, but a bone to pick with that particular pick that we made on halftime on this weekend. So, anyway, moving on from that Exorcist laugh, up and down for me. So I was on the production crew for Stuttgart versus Robinson second round state playoff game. The up is small classification Arkansas high school football is the best football to watch because if there's 50 kids out there, 49 of them are going to go play college football. And they're playing for the love of the game, and most of those seniors, that's their last time lacing up cleats. And it was incredible to watch Stuttgart beat Robinson, the defending state champs, 23-20. It was incredible to see. Now, the down goes also to Stuttgart High School, who was the school we were at for a incredible amount of spider webs all across that football stadium, and some were floating in the air. The best part was using and I've never seen this before, a half-cut urinal cake as an air freshener in the press box.
Had this half-cut urinal cake been used the way it's supposed to be used
I don't know,
before it was turned into an air freshener?
It was dissolved a little bit already?
That's a great question. If you don't believe me, I will post a picture on my Twitter page because I didn't believe it myself at first, but I saw it with my own two eyes, and there was a half-cut urinal cake being used as an air freshener.
So you need to remind me about this for later on. I've been in some dangerous press boxes that I could tell you some stories about that. Third up, scoring in Arkansas women's basketball games. First of all, Arkansas is one of two teams in the country that's played four games. And the average point total in an Arkansas women's basketball game is 175 points. 94 for Arkansas, 81.5 for the opponents, almost 18 threes combined, and I'm out of breath just because of that. Third down, chances of Tom Brady and the Bucks playing in the Super Bowl in their own stadium. Ain't going to happen. Thank goodness. I'm sick of watching Brady in the Super Bowl. And I'm not sick of being the host on halftime with my guys for SmackDown and Matty T. We are back with you tomorrow. Yeah. Now get up, get out, and get better.
Stop in today at Randall